Hi, in this video I'm going to be talking about the lessons that doggies teach us from my 30 days living with a dog. In January and February of this year, I lived with my best friend, my childhood hometown brother essentially, while I was in the upswing of my health recovering. And I'm super thankful for that because I was able to 100% focus on my health and on the next period of my life. So I was able to focus on my next steps and not be so super stressed out during the transition period. Well, the cool thing about living with my friend is that he had a dog, a 2-year-old rescue that was a lab shepherd mix. Not really sure what breed he was, but he was pretty darn big, like 90 pounds big. And his name was Theodore, aka Ted, aka Teddy Poo. And here's what Teddy taught me. Ted was friendly. He loved his neighbors, whether it was a human or a fellow dog. Whenever we went on a run, he wouldn't hesitate to say hi to his neighbor.
Look at all these doggies. Ted, you're really popular. Everyone wants to be with you.
An admirable trait about Ted is that he was non-judgmental, and that's something that the world needs more of. Ted always got an adequate amount of sleep. He didn't neglect sleep, and he certainly didn't do all-nighters staying up. Ted listened to his body, and when he was tired, he went to sleep or took naps throughout the day. He didn't try to force himself to stay up. So one thing that I learned from Ted is that I have to go to sleep at a healthy time. Not staying up till 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., but going to sleep at a reasonable time and on a scheduled basis. Like Ted always went to bed at around 10:30 p.m. And that's something that rubbed off on me, and now I'm trying to go to bed at 10:30 to 11ish now. And another thing about Ted is that he was super patient. Ted would literally wait outside the gate of my door to come play with him. He would just sit there patiently and wait for me to come out. And sometimes he'd have to wait for a while because I didn't wake up at the same time that he did. So sometimes he would have to wait 4 or 5 hours.
Hi, Teddy.
I feel like for the past few years, I've always been in a rushed state of mind, and it's nice to just slow down from time to time and just be patient with things. And Ted was a great reminder of that. Ted symbolized unconditional love. Ted did not harbor grudges. Every time that I walked through the front door or even out of my own room door, man, it was like Christmas for him. His tail would be wagging, his tongue was out, and he was jumping for joy.
Oh, Teddy! Oh, baby! Oh! I love you, cutie pie! Oh!
So even if I was having a bad day, his ray of sunshine and his positivity just brighten things up a little bit. And moving forward, I want to be able to do that for others as well, because you never know who's having a bad day, and if you could be that unconditional love that can make people happier through you. Because let me tell you this, like 8 years ago, this channel's motto used to be smiling is contagious. Happiness, positivity is really infectious. I promise that.
Oh, Teddy! Oh.
And while I'm on that topic, Ted taught me that it's best to move on from the past. If he was disciplined for being a bad boy, yes, he would sulk and fuss for a little bit. But then eventually he'd be alright. He'd be like, you know what, I probably deserve that. I shouldn't have pooped on your pillow and given you pink eye. That didn't really happen. But what I'm saying is if he got disciplined for that, yes, he'd be like, ooh, ooh, he would whimper, but then later on he'd be like, alright, let's play again. So if there's something that's haunting you from the past, sometimes in life, it's better to just forgive them and let it go so that you can move on. Because if you don't forgive that person or forgive yourself for getting yourself into that situation, you'll never be able to move on. Sometimes it's best to just forgive that person or that event so that you can be set free and go on with life. Thanks, Ted. Another lesson that Ted taught me is that he always stayed hydrated. No matter how many times I filled up his little doggy bowl with water, it would always be empty, so I would always have to continuously fill it up. It's as if dogs know that water is good for their body, and likewise, it's good for mine too. I feel like these days, we drink more coffee and soda than we do water, but water is so good for the body. Oof. Thanks, Ted. Thank you for that reminder, Teddy. And while we're on the topic of what's good for our body, Ted always looked forward to exercise, to physical exercise. Now, I don't want to speak for Ted, but I feel as if our daily runs together were the highlight of his day.
Hi, Teddy. Hi, Teddy. Ted, what are you doing? It's bigger than you are. Fine, let's go. Get up, boy. He dropped it. It's too big.
As humans, we often forget how important and how vital cardiovascular exercise is for our bodies and our physical health. So that doggy taught me to be consistent with running because he depended on me to take him running. And if I didn't go running, that means he couldn't go running, and then I'd feel bad. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take you running so that I can stay healthy, and so you can have fun, and so you can stay healthy, and we can all relish in this positivity together. Ted also taught me to live in the moment. There's a time and season for everything. There's a time and season to mourn if someone that you love passed away, and there's a time and season to be happy and to celebrate for good stuff in your life. Every single day, Ted reminded me to just let loose and play.
Teddy, why are you being like this? You giving me your tennis balls? It's 11:30. It's too late to play. You go to sleep now, please. Oh, Teddy. Oh. You wanna play?
Which is a really good reminder to take a break from the daily stresses that are weighing down on us, and it's so heavy on your chest. It's like taking off your bra after a really long day. It just feels good. Men, you wouldn't know anything about that. And I just remember chasing each other around, and in that moment...
Run, Teddy!
I'm not even moving. Look how happy he was.
Chase him, Amos, chase him!
We were just having fun. We weren't thinking about any anxieties or any stresses. We were just focused on chasing each other. Look at the snow, Teddy. Teddy, Teddy, Ted. Ted, how do you feel about the snow? Huh? Teddy, how do you feel about the snow? You like it? You just want the food right here. Huh? You just want the food. So when there's good times, just engulf yourself in the good times. There's no room and there's no time for negativity when there's a good moment. But the sad thing about living in the moment was that when it was time to say goodbye for the final time, he had no idea what was happening. To him, he just thought, oh, okay, he's just leaving to do an errand real quick and he'll be back later. He had no idea, and it was heartbreaking. It was so sad. It was really difficult for me to say goodbye to my little buddy. And another thing about Ted is that he didn't complain about the little things. He didn't mind sleeping on the floor or on the couch or on his doggy bed. He accepted life as it was thrown at him, like, all right, I guess that's the way it's gonna be. So Ted reminded me that happiness is a choice. We can choose to be sad about the little things by nitpicking, or we could just be happy by being content. Thank you, Ted. And another thing that Ted taught me is that he did not like vacuums. It's either that he was scared of them or it was just too loud for him, but he didn't like vacuums. And the last lesson that I learned from Ted was that Uncle Amos was fun. But ultimately, what is the lesson that I am most thankful for from Ted? Well, it's that we should not always take life so seriously. Yes, there are times to stress because whatever we are dealing with is important, but for the most part, don't worry, be happy. Alright, thanks for hanging out with me, internet neighbor. I'll talk to you next time.
Hi, teddy bear. Huh? You wanna come in the hot tub? You wanna come in the hot tub? He's like, what you saying?